Hi, welcome to episode 20 of Your Canadian Pastor. I'm Bruce Adama, by day the pastor of Bethany Church in Bloomfield, Ontario, but right now I am your Canadian pastor. How we live and act and talk as Christians is very important. We are the representatives of Christ. When people see us do our thing, whether it's at work or at play or at school, wherever, that they are supposed to be able to get an insight into the nature of our Lord because we are all imitators of Jesus. That's quite a responsibility, quite a privilege for us. And so as Christians, we do want to be challenged to learn, to grow, to figure out how should we live, how should we talk, how should we comport ourselves so that we can be good representatives of the Lord. I asked someone in the last few days, when I prepare Your Canadian Pastor, what would you like me to speak about? Or what do you think is something that needs to be heard and thought about? And this person, who I have a lot of respect for, said, you should talk about sarcasm. Well, I wouldn't have thought of that, but I think that it is a very important thing for me to bring up to you and for us together to think about. Because sarcasm is, I deem it to be, and I think you would probably agree with me, to be a very negative way of speaking. That when you use sarcasm, that there is within it, built in, a mocking tone. It's not an upbuilding way to speak. It's not straightforward. It's hurtful. Even it could be said, and I think it should be understood, that sarcasm has a contemptuous dimension to it. That when you say something sarcastically, you're not being a straight shooter. You're not being kind. You're being pretty negative and even hurtful. The way we speak is supposed to be a blessing. That we should speak words of kindness. We should speak words of truth. When we speak truth, sometimes it has to be spoken carefully so that it doesn't hurt, even as it is spoken. We should be gentle. Remember, the fruit of the Spirit that is written down in the Bible, say, what does it mean? What comes out of a person who really knows God? And it is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Gentleness is one of those key markers of someone who is walking close to the Lord and is being obedient to his call, that is being transformed by that Spirit so that these things come out of us. We are to be kind and gentle. So think about how you talk. Think about how when you see something that is disagreeable or that you disagree with, how do you address it? And if your response is, your natural inclination is to be sarcastic about it, make a pause and say, how can I speak in a way that does not mock, that does not express or imply contempt for another, but instead is for their blessing? As your pastor, your Canadian pastor, I pray for you that you demonstrate all the Christian virtues, that you experience the joy of all the fruit of the Spirit in your life, and that when others see you, they see Jesus at work in you. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you. And as always, I'm Bruce Adama, your Canadian pastor, and I wish you God's blessing.